I enjoyed John Wick 4, but it was just like, did it need to be almost 3 hours?
I
I could have cut some
I saw. Well, here, which part would you cut? Like,
of 50 bodies dropping.
I don't know.
Just
That's
where-
what you go for John Wick to see. No, I understand that. Like, I went to John Wick twice, and the first time I only stayed for 45 minutes, and I was like, I'm gonna have to come back and watch the rest later because I'm kind of feeling. I'm feeling. I can't do 2 more hours, but it was wonderful. And then I went to the second viewing, and I fell asleep during the stair scene, but I woke back up after that, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. It is long. I think that everything worked. I never got tired of it.
I thought it was really good, and I thought it would have been phenomenal if it was shorter.
I think it probably would have been phenomenal shorter. They cut it down from 4 hours. So what are you going to do at that point?
Yeah,
it was initially 4 hours. But I don't think there's any fat on it, and that's the thing. I don't really think that there's stuff to cut. I think it's John Wick. Here's going to be a controversial take, and they'll shut us down for this, but because of COVID-19, we got John Wick 4. It's like it turned what was going to be 2 cash grab movies into just one huge movie, and I think it's epic. It's special, you know.
Yeah, that was one of the movies that back in the day when they didn't do well in theaters, but they did well at home. I feel like John Wick did well at home, and then people wanted to see it more in theaters, and it just started to grow. Kind of like put some respect on Murder Mystery's name. That's on Netflix. And yeah, the sequel does drop this weekend, but
I think you should go see John Wick 4 again, Jeff. I know you like to see movies twice.
I do. I usually, I was going to see that one
This
twice.
time, go when you have a lot of time to sit there and watch it, and have a nice coffee before it or something like that.
Just throw a quick spoiler warning up here, because I'll tell you where I thought there was that was not necessary.
For the people at home. Okay, what part got to you?
It was the stairs scene.
Okay, well that's when I fell asleep.
Yeah, and what was frustrating, so I had my RJ was there too, but I had my son with me, and I literally felt it was channel changing heat, not the type of discharge they wanted, when he made it all the way to the top of the stairs and then he fell all the way back down again. And just like, as someone who's fallen down the stairs multiple times at work, at wrestling, at home, and seeing those stairs, I was just like, that just felt like an L. And I understand why they did it. I think they could have found a way to maybe just do it like halfway, because then I was like, he spent all that time trying to get to the top of the stairs. And then he spent all this time falling back down the stairs. And then I was like, oh, man, he's going to go back up the stairs again. It felt like channel changing heat.
Well, I mean, yes, I can see that. But also, man, the director really got you to react to that.
Yeah.
to that thing.
But I was just like I would have if I was at home, I would have paused it and got up. It would have took me out of them. I would have went and was like, okay, let me get a drink. Let me prepare for him to go back up the stairs again. And I'm saying this as someone who thought it was great. Like, I have no heat with the movies, the bulletproof suits, and like whatever. I mean, that's like you said, that's what we sign up for. But maybe he could have just went halfway up the stairs. But I get it that the whole thing was that Donnie Yen Young's character was there to like, let's go, we're going to get you up that stairs. That was the moment. Have you ever seen that video of, I completely lost where I was going with the video, but yeah, it was great that it's just like, we're going to help you get up the stairs. I liked that feeling. And I think I still would have got that feeling if somehow he couldn't make it up the stairs without help. Not, yeah, I can make it up the stairs. Oh no, I didn't make it. Well, now I'll help you and do it. Like, if you should have found a way to like, we'll get you up those stairs. It should have just looked like completely daunting. And Donnie came out and said, you're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home. So it was just like, I don't know. And that would have been what, 15 minutes? We could have got back. But again, it's what I do agree with you for is it is beautifully cinematic, and it deserves theatrical viewings, not a viewing at home.
Yeah. I mean, from my perspective, I didn't think there was an ounce of fat in it, and it's just like in what is it, the Great Outdoors, that huge steak that John Candy eats.
Oh, yeah.
This is a huge steak that you have to eat as a challenge, and if you complete this steak, your meal is free. It's a delicious steak. It's well made, but it's whatever 86 ounces of steak. But I think this thing is like, I thought it was better than John Wick 3. John Wick 3 felt long to me.
Yeah.
This one did not feel long. They figured out the chemistry. Could it have been 2.5 hours and been super sweet, or could this been 2 hours of nonstop? That would have been amazing.
2 would have been tough, but I think I think they could have landed between 2 and 2.5. Of that 3 hours that's a leap for any film.
It is a leap. But I can't help but give it props for its audacity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you did it.
Look at RRR. It's equally longer.
Yeah.
Equally bombastic and just insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got other stuff. It's got more emotion. It's got dance numbers. But I just love folks out there taking big swings for the audacity of cinema.
And big bumps. And like RJ said, that scene gave birth to many beautiful memes and more memes to come.
Is there anybody better than Chad Zielinski right now?
No.
Who is a better action director than him? He's like the greatest American action director right now since like James Cameron. He's
100% agree.
James Cameron is probably right now. Yeah. He's like, oh, I'm about to be replaced.
I 100% agree. And I even feel that with like I mentally prepare to go in to see like Avatar knowing it's going to be long, and then James Cameron's like, don't worry, go to the bathroom, you're going to go back and see it again.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe again there's always that first showing that I got to discharge the steam.
Yeah.
Let out some steam, Bennett.
I agree.
And maybe that second one I'll feel a little bit different, because everything about it was beautiful. I'm excited about the Continental now that we actually got to see the Japanese Continental hotel. So we're
Continental Osaka.
Oh man, so good. And again, Kane is one of my his presence on the screen alone, knowing how far he came, right, to get to this point that this felt like a super fight. Remember I was saying that last week before we went to see it. It feels like a super fight. It lived up to the hype. There's no way when you saw Kane, eating the noodles, when he's like, aren't you going to do your job? And then when I didn't know this, did you know he was going to be blind going into this?
I had heard, yeah.
I had no idea. So when you saw him doing blind, and then he was like putting the like the Ring doorbell notifiers there, like everything about him, give me a spin-off movie with Kane immediately. Like I would go tomorrow to see that, like without even hesitation. That character was so well done. And I even was okay with, we were talking about this, we're talking about spoilers, like where are they going to go with this series? And one of the ideas was we were going to do but they were going to do like the Legend of Billie Jean, but the Legend of John Wick. And we were going to follow some of these other hitmen. The new hitmen in there were really, really well done. The manager of the Continental Osaka, his daughter was great. The other one that I couldn't tell if he was hunting John Wick or not hunting John Wick, and he had the dog, but he felt more like a demolition expert. All these characters were it felt like a video game, and like you're trying to select all these awesome characters they were all very distinct.
And they all worked. I love Tracker. I love the Tracker, Mr. Nobody.
Yeah, Mr. Nobody. That was it, Mr. Nobody.
Here's the thing:
he was great.
I thought it was clear, but I thought they were going to make the connection. But this is Halle Berry's son. It has to be.
Oh, that's a good take.
He has the dog, right? I mean, it has to be.
Oh,
this has to be related to Halle Berry. Did that not come across to you? I thought that was.
No, I did not. Until
I thought
you
that
was
getting. Okay, he was awesome. And like
Mr. Nobody, yeah, he was great.
I texted Lucciolati in the middle of the movie because I said this. I had already created this character that whenever the apocalypse happened, I was going to be the lever gun guy.
Okay.
I would be lever gun guy. I've got a I've got a great lever gun. But they put a lever gun guy in there, and he's got the revolver in there as well.
Oh yeah.
It was awesome, and I thought he was good. And
He was great.
He's like a great expansion of the Hitman universe, because he's like a rogue hitman.
Yeah.
Trying to capture bounties. But while he's trying to capture him, he's trying to run him up before he collects. That's great.
That was so smart. I
was a
did
great
not
job.
expect that at all.
There's so much going on in this movie. Scott Adkins is so good as.
Yes, that's right. He was great in there too.
Oh my God, he's doing Tom Cruise in that movie. This movie's so good. And the thing is, it sucks because yes, you can't help but get tired. It's too long. It's super long. It's extremely long, and it's a lot of action. It's mostly action.
Yeah. Well, you already solved the problem, but the rest of the world, other than Quentin Tarantino, has not come to terms with this. Just bring back an intermission, and we'll be totally fine.
Bring back an intermission.
We're adults.
We're adults. We can go out. We can go outside and check our phones.
Yeah.
We can make a call. We can go to the bathroom. We can go to McShooter's bar and get a
drink.
Oreo margarita. It's like.
I would buy sometimes I hesitate to buy a beer in a theater because I'm like, well, this is going to be a longer movie, and I don't like to get up during the movie unless it's an approved intermission.
Yeah,
if there was an intermission, I probably would buy more beverages.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It's like this works for everybody. Now, theaters are always trying to squeeze the movies in there and get the run times down to so they can run it more times. Because they get the
damn cut. You Ari Gold.
Well, they get the cut of the tickets, but the theaters get the snacks. So we've got to find a happy medium. Give us an intermission, right? Had there been an intermission right after in John Wick, I think the perfect place is right when they decide they're going to have a duel, right before the church scene.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
I think that's a good spot to cut it. Go out, get a popcorn refill. Well, while you're at the popcorn refill, you're going to want to get some Swedish fish, or a hot dog. You know what I mean? Tell the folks at the stand, it's like, hey, we got half price nachos if you're watching John Wick right now,
right?
You know what I mean?
Come out during,
100%. Think you guys use your brains.
Yeah. I thought you liked money.
I thought you liked money. We said we liked money,
dude. One of my favorite Alamo Drafthouse experiences in town was going to see. I found a showing of The Hateful Eight, the 70 millimeter with the overture and the intermission, and it was Sunday at 8 a.m. and it was fantastic. It was so good.
I love morning movies.
Oh man, it's just like they had a breakfast menu. The intermission came up. He was playing the Western music. You got up. You're stretching.
Get a coffee.
Yeah, you're making the eye contact with the other solo film goers. Then they're like, "Oh yeah, pretty. Like I'm digging it." And they stopped it at just the right spot. And then when you sat down, it's been so long since I've been to a movie with an intermission because I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what happens now? Do they just turn the lights off and then the movie starts going? And then QT is just like, he explains everything that he brings you back into the moment.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. And I think there's tons of movies. RRR would be a perfect movie. Like if it was in a theater, you find the cutoff spot. There's the intermission.
Yeah. Right before the sniper scene.
Yeah. They could 100% do that. Avatar could have been rewarded with some intermissions too. Yeah. But again, it's just because I just don't like to get up. But
because you don't want to miss part of the movie.
I don't want to miss a second. I'm Steven Tyler. I don't want to miss a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even if it is Armageddon. But yeah, it was good. I know we kind of splintered off into, I guess that was our...
This is what people tune in to listen to.
This was our okay. John Wick review. Were you okay with the end? Like we already put the spoiler warning up.
I thought the ending was great.
Yeah.
I love.
Were you surprised?
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised. You know why? To kill him in the movie is a very I like money though move. You know what I mean? Kill the character. I appreciate that. So what if he's dead? He can come back. You don't have to tease us with he's coming back. You know what I mean? You don't have to put that in there so folks, I don't know, they're going to start saving money to buy ticket to the next movie. It's like, I love that he died. That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great way. It's a great way to end a movie series. But the thing is, he'll be back.
You think he'll be back as like just John Wick 5, or do you think they're going to start putting their toe into like expanding the universe to I thought this is what they were doing. They were doing the 80s wrestler in a territory. Okay, let's take this character. He works. He's had 4 movies. Let's put him on the shelf for a little while. Go leave town, go to another territory, go rediscover yourself. But we're going to keep it going with, they announced the Continental, right? And then the Ballerina. So they have 2 other properties coming. Now, the Continental, I'm really looking forward to. I'm a little nervous that it's on Peacock. I don't know.
Peacock's got good shows.
But I mean, do they pull their punches? Like,
no. They don't need to.
You think it'll be as action-packed and John Wick liked, or do you think it'll be TV light?
Well, it just depends on what they're budgeting it as.
Yeah.
You know, what they're going to spend. Here's what's great. Look, how many times have people died in pro wrestling and come back?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not a thing, but it's just, this is why I'm very enthusiastic about movies coming forward, because like, that's just a great thing to just do for the audience, to just kill the main character, give us a true ending. Okay?
Yeah.
We don't need to have something thrown in that tells us, but maybe not. You know what I mean? We don't need that.
Yeah.
You can just end the movie like that, and then when he comes back, we'll be like, "What? I thought he was dead." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
we don't need a tease anymore. That's what I think Marvel is suffering. We don't want teases. We want conclusions.
But remember, they did in Infinity War. There was no tease.
Exactly.
Thanos took a sigh of relief. He won.
Yeah.
And the credits roll, and that was a big swing. And
yeah.
that swing paid off.
And it paid off huge.
It paid off
like
big.
I can't remember ever being more enthused for a Marvel movie other than Endgame. So I think it's really good, man. I think that's just a positive way to just end a movie. Let him die, and then
So you
whatever.
didn't want Winston talking at the Bowery, talking at the gravesite. Like, I don't feel, although I don't even feel like that was. I feel like that was a soft hint at best.
They didn't hint at anything, honestly.
No, right? Because they were just like, is he in heaven or is he in hell? And they're like, who knows? And then he's like, goodbye, my son. And then people are like, what was he? Is his dad? I mean, I liked it like that's as close as they can to rolling up and just seeing the tombstone and then the credits roll. That would have been a pretty big punch.
Well, I mean, and here's the thing. This is smart booking because you're getting your name out of there so the folks you want to put over can do some stuff and get people interested. If you don't get him out of there, people are going to be waiting for John Wick to come back.
Yeah.
You got to get him out.
Yeah.
Let him go on break. He's going to go hang out with his wife in the Bahamas. Eventually, he'll come back somehow. There's no way he's not coming back somehow, but you don't have to tease it right now.
Well, we know the somehow, and I'm gonna let you pivot into this because Anthony just brought it up, and I'm gonna let you do your take that we talked about. The next John Wick is that Matrix crossover.
John Wick's Matrix crossover?
Yeah. Didn't you pitch me that?
Oh, well, I was just saying that if I'm WB right now, Warner Brothers, I would be pulling a dump truck full of money up to Chad Stahelski's house and being like, could you do us a Matrix movie, please? We would really like a new one that's good. And we heard you're friends with Keanu. Maybe do one more.
Also, just another Matrix movie, not necessarily a John Wick crossover.
Oh, I don't know about it. No, I don't know about a crossover.
No,
think
you don't think that could be a modal inside the Matrix where he plays a hitman, and Morpheus is a Boweryman.
Oh, I don't know about that. But I mean, I bet Stahelski could get Morpheus back. I mean, he's got great relationships with both of them.
Yeah,
I just think it's an easy call.
Kill his virtual dog in the Matrix. I love this. Yeah, I just love that this is giving birth to fruitful ideas like this of like where else can we place this director now?
He's got an open. I mean, he can pretty much do whatever he wants right now.
Yeah,
I didn't realize he had only done the John Wick movies. I thought he had done other stuff.
That's all he did.
Yeah.
And wasn't it? Wait, I thought he was a stuntman in the Matrix. Didn't he?
Yeah, he was Keanu's stunt double. I mean, Yeah,
Wow.
he's Once Upon a Time in he's Keanu's Cliff Booth.
Is that what you say? You carry his bags?
Yeah, sounds about right. Like he also was he started off doing like early 90s, late 80s kind of straight to video. He was in Bloodsport 2.
Oh, he wasn't.
Did you know there was a part 2?
No, I didn't know. Oh, I think I remember part 2, but I did not know
He was doing
in it.
that kind of stuff back in the day, back in the video era.
Wait, was he not the director of that trailer that rolled before that film that you were talking the French?
No, he's not the director.
He's not that just that
No.
that sang of like this is him doing that.
No, it's like that's like
What's the name of that?
I don't. It's 21 North or 25 North. The stunt team that started basically a movie production company, and they've been doing stuff. They did Violent Night and Nobody, and
Oh, that's right. It's the same.
yeah,
Yeah, because they did do Violent Night. I can't think of the name of that film now. It's slipping my mind.
Sisu.
Sisu. That was
Yeah.
it. Man, that looked crazy good.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. That's a good way to utilize your stunt team.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you know anything about the ballerina?
I don't really know much about it. Not really, not at all.
No.
It's just John Wick Universe. They keep teasing ballerinas in all the John Wick movies. Not sure of the where they fit, but I assume it's some sort of Black Widow gimmick.
That makes sense. What I do think is too soon for them to do is young John Wick, like they were hinting of. Like I think young Winston is fine, right? Because he's clearly Ian McShane. He's at advanced age, even though he looks phenomenal. But you would like to see where he came from. I think
Yeah.
it's way too early to do a young John Wick.
No, you can't. You can't do John. You can't do young John.
No, I think it's too because
You
Keanu
can't
is
replace.
timeless.
You can't replace Keanu.
No, I if you want to sneak him in like as a cameo, but in the Continental, but I'd rather see where the world came from and establish more rules outside of the John Wick section of the world before you figure out how John Wick got brought into that world.
Yeah.
Because the one thing you can't say this director didn't do is you can't say he didn't evolve. Think about the first John Wick versus the fourth John Wick and
Yeah.
how completely different they are.
I mean, he used all 4 movies to develop his style. And
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what he does
And
next.
he just went up and up and up. And we did a spot on here a month or so ago where we were talking about like the biggest movies that are video games that they don't know they're video games. This is hands down a video game, like
Well-
100%.
Well, now that you're talking about it, let's talk about all the references in John Wick. There's a lot of references in this movie. Chad Stilinski, I think, has taken this time to develop his style. I think this is a hot. People want to think this is a controversial take, but I don't care. I think Chad Stilinski is now the Yen Wu Ping of the U.S. because he's a shoot martial artist. Okay.
Yeah.
And what he brings to all these movies is that shoot martial arts skill. And he can choreograph these things in a way that other action directors just can't do. Like what other American action director is there that could do anything on this level?
I don't think they
I
can.
said James Cameron, I think, is the last great one. So you've got there was a lot of stuff. There was you saw the Warriors, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You saw the Warriors.
that was
They
huge.
had the meme, the Arthur meme where he makes a fist.
Yes, that's right.
That was in there. You
about
had
that one.
the overhead 8-bit game
Yep.
look, right?
Yeah.
And that's just 3 that I can think of. I know there's more.
Yeah, there was a bunch. I needed to go back and watch the Easter egg video on that. But yeah, the Warriors, that was like just a straight up like redo of the scene. I mean, they had the Lin Thin Pig, and they had the instead of a radio station for gang members, a radio station for hitmen that were just kind of broadcasting out there. That was cool. Think about this with Chad Stilinski. He made these 4 pretty epic movies in 9 years.
Yeah.
It takes studios 4 years just to figure out a direction they want to go. Like, oh yeah, that's going to come in You know, what's coming in 2032? It'll be, you know, we already blocked the date. And this dude's like, no, I'm going to make 4 movies in the time that you're going to just be planning one.
I love it. Yes, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's give directors money to make movies. Let's not just... We've been in an era for the last 10, 15 years of just like, we can only make things out of board games and books and radio dramas and whatever, old TV shows and reboots, and that's it. Let directors make original content again.
Yeah.